All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Oyaga. It's so good to have you today on this session. I'm so glad to be a part of this GLC, the Global Leadership Conference, with Abraham Obichuku. It's so good to have everyone who has been on this program from the first day to the second day and then to today. And here we are today. We are wrapping up the program, and I'll just be sharing my experience with us in few minutes. All right, just a little moment. We need to take care of one or two technical issues. Okay. All right. So I'm here today to talk on understanding the place of personal development in the making of a leader. Understanding the place of personal development in the making of a leader. Understanding the place of personal development in the making of a leader. This is very key. This is very important to us who are aspiring to be leaders at this time. I know a lot has been said in the course of this program. We just want to lend our voice to the much that has been said, and then we have a little discussion at the end of the day. So if you are there, let's know that you are there. Let's see, I'm here. I'm here. I'm part of the show. I'm here. Just type something, put your favorite emojis, and let's see those who are with us before we fire on. All right. So for those who are just joining us, my name is Michael Oyaga, and I'll be talking on the understanding the place of personal development in the making of a leader. All right. I will start by saying that we have a lot of people out there who say that they are leaders, but they are actually not leaders. They are just rulers. A wise man once said that if you say you are leading and nobody is following you, then you're not actually leading. You're just taking a stroll. Okay, so we may have a lot of people out there who are just taking a stroll, and they are thinking that they are actually leading, but they are not leading. Why did I say so? I've come to realize in my work with leaders and would-be leaders, I've come to realize that everybody wants to be a leader, but not everybody can lead. That may sound so big, but that's the truth. Everybody wants to be a leader, but not everybody can lead. All right? Everybody wants to be a leader, but it is not everybody that has what it takes to lead. These are two very key important truths that you need to ponder on for a moment and then see if it applies to you. Everybody wants to be a leader, but not everybody can lead. Everybody wants to be a leader, but not everybody has what it takes to lead. Now, the question is, why is it so? The very simple answer is that it is not everybody that is ready and willing to commit to what it takes to be a leader. It's not everybody that is ready. Some just want to occupy position, all right? Some just want to exert authority. Some just want to be known as, oh, I'm a leader. Yes, I'm leading. But they don't have what it takes to lead. And the reason is that they are not committed to having what it takes for them to lead. Assuming they are committed to having what it takes for them to lead, then they will be able to lead, and they will indeed be leaders. So the question you want to ask yourself is, what does it take for you, or what will it take for you to lead? Now, I'm going to share a very powerful principle from the scriptures. I draw a lot of inspiration from the scriptures. It has helped me over time in my secular business, in my secular world, and I'm sure that it will benefit you also tonight. All right. And I'll be looking at Isaiah 37 verse 31. Isaiah 37 verse 31, just to share this principle with us. Very powerful principle. Isaiah 37 verse 31, and it says that, and the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. The remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downwards and bear fruit upward. So I'm looking at the principle of taking root downwards and bearing fruit upward. Taking root downwards and bearing fruit upward. Taking root downwards and bearing fruit upward. This principle is very key to you that want to be a leader. If you understand this principle of taking root downwards and bearing fruit upward, I think the equation is settled. All right. And I'm going to look at that very simple but powerful principle in few minutes. Taking root downwards and bearing fruit upward. Now, if you understand this, you will discover that you being a leader will be much more easier than what you think and what you have been exposed to over the period. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that for you to be a leader, you must be ready to take root downwards. You must be ready to take root downwards. If you are not ready to take root downwards, you cannot bear fruit upward. This is very key. I'm not preaching the Bible now. I'm talking about a principle that is very important. If you are not ready to take root downwards, you cannot bear fruit upward. For you to be a leader, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of personal secret work. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of discipline. Now, when and if you are not committed to this sacrifice, you're not committed to this discipline, you're not committed to give your time to the forming or the formation of a leader, then you will not be able to be a leader. You can actually be a leader by apostance. You can be a leader because you were appointed to lead. You can be a leader because no other person was there at the moment, and then you were selected and said, okay, come and lead us. You know, we're told that in the village or in the town where everybody is blind, a one-eyed man is the king. So maybe that was how you became a leader. But the truth is, if you are going to be relevant and if you are going to sustain your position as a leader, you must be willing and ready to take root downwards. You must be willing to commit to what it will take for you to be that leader that the people can look up to. You must be willing and ready to commit to what it takes for you to be that leader that will bear fruit upward. If you're not willing and ready to commit, you're not disciplined, you're not ready to make a sacrifice, you're not ready to give your time and the rest of that, then you can't be the leader that you're supposed to be. All right, I give you an example. This program has been on for 3 days. Some persons have been part of it from the beginning. Some are just joining yesterday. Some just joined today and all of that. But the fact remains that if you are not willing to commit 30 minutes of your time every day, you're not willing to commit 3 days in the week to this kind of a program where you have speakers who have come to talk to us on different areas and the rest of that, and then you have the privilege of tapping into their wisdom, tapping into their experience, and then becoming something good or becoming the kind of leader you want to be, then you are not ready to be that leader yet. Number two, everyone is interested in the fruit, not knowing that without the root, there can be a fruit. Everyone is interested in the fruit, not knowing that without the root, there can't be the fruit. I take it again. Everyone is interested in the fruit, forgetting or not knowing that without the roots, there can be the fruit. You see somebody who is on the stage, and then you see him, oh, like I'm talking to you now. Wow, he's so eloquent. I love his oratory skills and the rest of that. That is the fruit. You are interested in the fruit, but you are forgetting that there is a root, and without the root, there can be the fruit. There is the secret work, there is the personal development, there is the reading time, there is the research time, there is a lot of things that has gone behind the scene that you are not exposed to. And I want you to understand that if you are going to be resourceful as a leader, you must be connected to a source. If you are going to be resourceful as a leader, you must be connected to a source. Why does the tree need the root to go deep into the ground for it to bear fruit upward? Simple wisdom. The reason is that if the root does not go into the earth, that root or that tree will not be connected to the source of nutrients. And if the tree is not connected to the source of nutrients, there is no way that tree can be resourceful. How do you know a tree that is resourceful? By their fruit, you shall know them. By their fruit, you shall know them. So if the tree is boasting, for example, let's say the tree is eating the chest and say, yes, I'm fruitful, I'm resourceful. But you look at the tree, there's no fruit on it. No fruit, not one, not two, not three, not four, none at all. Then, even though the tree is claiming to be resourceful, but you know that this tree is barren because there is no fruit to show that the tree is resourceful. All right. So if you are going to be a leader, there must be a root, and the root must go down into the earth. Otherwise, you cannot be resourceful. People cannot see the fruit that they are supposed to see. So you need to take time to look at that. Number 3, the depth of your root will determine the kind of nutrients you will have access to. The depth of your root will determine the kind of nutrients you will have access to. In my work with leaders and working with would-be leaders, I've come to realize that gold is not seen on the surface of the earth. Gold is not seen on the surface of the earth. You must dig. You need to dig because you can't find the treasure at the edge of the threshing floor. You must dig and dig and dig deep. All right. So if you're not willing to dig deep, you are definitely not going to see any gold. So if the tree is not willing to allow the root to go deep down into the earth, you may not be able to assess the kind of nutrients that would help that tree to become as fruitful as it should be. Now, I want to ask you this question. You want to be a leader. The year is half gone. How much time have you spent on materials? Maybe books, maybe tapes, maybe conferences, maybe trainings, maybe seminars, and the rest of that. How much time have you spent? Either paid conferences or free conferences. This one that Abraham has organized is a free one. But you still discover that some people will tell you, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Listen, for every time you listen to somebody talk, there is always a lesson to pick. For every time you attend a conference, a seminar, whether free or not, either virtual or physical, online or on-site, anytime you have that opportunity to get connected to such forums or platforms, there is always something for you. There is always something for you to pick. There's always something for you to learn. And the more you pick those things, those lessons along the way, the better you become. All right. Now, number 4, when your root is on the surface, everyone can access you. When your root is on the surface, everyone can access you. And if everyone can access you, I can tell you, you'll not last long. That's the truth. When the root of the tree is on the surface, anybody can access it. Those who are coming to fetch firewood can access the root and cut it off. All right. Now, because the root has not taken depth, the wind blows and it can easily blow away the tree because the root has not gone deep down into the earth. How does it apply to you as a would-be leader, or how does it apply to you as a leader? If your root is on the surface, we call it anything goes kind of syndrome. Anything goes. Anything goes. Listen, you can't be a leader and you are working with the syndrome or working under the syndrome of anything goes. Anything goes means you can be anywhere, you can talk anyhow, anybody is your friend and everybody is your friend. That's not supposed to be. If you are going to be a leader, you need to define your limits. I listened to Sam Adeyemi, Reverend Sam Adeyemi, some time ago, and he made a very instructive statement. And he said that from the time that he knew that he was going to be a leader, from the time that he knew that he was going to be a leader, he needed to put in place limits. Limits. It's not every party you go to. It's not every occasion you attend. It's not every talk that is on the social media that you get involved in. No. Because you know that you are going to be a leader, or because you know that you are a leader, you don't get involved in every talk. You don't get involved in every topic. You don't express your opinion on every political matter. It doesn't mean that you don't have your views. You have your views, but then you need to keep your views to yourself because of your status as a leader. You cannot afford to throw caution to the wind and then be everywhere and do everything. So if you are going to be a leader, you can't be a surface person. Not at all. You must take root downwards for you to bear fruit upward. It's very important. And then number five, if you are going to be a leader, still looking at the principle of taking root downwards and bearing fruit upward, if you are going to be a leader, you need to understand that you cannot afford to relate with everyone. You cannot afford to relate with everyone. This is very key. It may sound very cocky, but that is just the truth. You need to know that if you want to be a leader, you cannot carry everybody along in your work to leadership. In your work to leadership. Let's make a difference. I am not talking about you as a leader now over the people. I'm talking about in your pathway, on your journey to becoming a leader. Everybody is not relevant on that journey. Everybody is not relevant. If you look at the ministry of Jesus Christ, he had the 12 disciples, he had the 70 apostles, but he had the 3 inner caucus members. All right. When he was to start the ministry, he called the 12 disciples. Beautiful. When he was to send people out to go for evangelism, there were 70 of them. The Bible said he sent them out 2 by 2. But when he was to go to the Mount of Transfiguration, he didn't go with the 12. He didn't go with the 70. He went with Peter, James, and John. So you needed to be able to identify and recognize the people that are relevant in this your journey to being a leader. Everybody is not relevant. Everybody is not necessary. All right, in your journey to being a leader. So I'm going to stop there right now and then see if we have questions to take. If there are no questions, that'll be fine. But if there are questions, that'll be lovely. So you can just type me your questions and then I'll take them. Maybe from the questions we say more other things or some other things that we have not said thus far. Thank you very much. All right. I have a question from online. How can you deal with friends who get offended because of your separation? How can you deal with friends who get offended because of your separation? I will start by saying that you shouldn't separate yourself, just because you want to separate. No, no. There is this belief that water will always find its level. Water will always find its level. Now, let me give you a very good example. The moment you embark on your journey to being a leader, it will change everything about you. The way you talk, the way you dress, the places you go to, the kind of topics you get involved in, or the kind of discussion you get involved in, and the rest of that. Okay? Now, the moment you start displaying all of these things, consciously or unconsciously, there are some people who were once in your circle of friends who will not be able to flow with you. Because if, for example, before now, what you would discuss is people, you discuss people, you discuss people, you discuss people, but now they come around and they want to bring up a topic about another person, and you make them to understand, look, I don't discuss people anymore, I discuss ideas. Because it takes an average-minded person to discuss people. Great people, or people who are great in their minds, they discuss ideas, they discuss opportunities, they discuss possibilities. Now, by the time the person comes around today and you refuse to discuss people with him, he comes around tomorrow, you refuse to discuss people with him, I'm sure the person will not come again the third time or the third day. So with that, you have succeeded in separating yourself from that individual without doing it consciously. Because when you do it consciously, they may tag you, oh, is it because you are this? You are trying to show us that you know too much. No, you don't need to go through that route for you to separate yourself from them. Just define your relationship, define the kind of discussion you go into, define everything that you do, and you will see that naturally they will find their level. They will just go away from you, and you don't have to offend them, and they don't have to offend you for you to be separated from them. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see if we can get more questions, and that'll be good. I'm so glad that we have a lot of persons joining us on the Facebook and the YouTube platform. It's so good to have you on the other end. Oh, wow. Awesome. Somebody is asking, is there anything like generational courses? That sounds more like a spiritual concept. But I'm going to take it from two perspectives, all right? Two angles. Is there anything like generational curses? Well, some people believe that there is a possibility of a curse moving from one generation to another generation. Now, there's no way I will answer this question without sounding spiritual. Okay, so permit me to go into the Bible a little. Now, some people believe that there is a possibility of a curse moving from one generation to another generation. Now, but then, if you read the scriptures, you will discover that at a time it was possible, that is, the sin of the father could be taken out on the son onto the third and the fourth generation. Okay, but later on, I didn't know this question will coming up. I would have searched my scripture and then bring more Bible passages to answer it. But let me just say this. Now, later on, the scripture made us to understand that we are not going to be using this proverb anymore in the land of Israel. And what was that proverb? That the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the teeth of the children have been set on edge. Okay, now the standard is any soul that sinneth, that is the soul that will die. Now, if you understand that spiritual angle to that question, then you will be able to separate yourself from whatever be the generational cause that has been in your lineage or that has been prevailing in your family. You can separate yourself and say, look, I was not part of the cause of these causes. The cause, C-A-U-S-E, of these causes, C-U-R-S-E-S. All right. And since I was not part of the causes, I am exempted from whatever be the negative or spiritual effect of these causes. That is on the spiritual side. Now, on the physical side or on the secular side, I would say that sometimes what we call generational causes are actually generational ignorance. What you call generational causes are actually generational ignorance. When you refuse to get the appropriate information, when you refuse to get the appropriate knowledge that you need at every particular time, whether you believe it or not, knowledge is increasing every day by day. Knowledge is increasing every day by day. Information is increasing every day by day. A lot of things are evolving. All right. So you cannot successfully operate today with the knowledge that was available 10 years ago. You will fail. You will fail. And when the person now fails, the person will say, oh, maybe this is a sign of generational cause. It's not generational cause, it's just generational ignorance. When you do what made your fathers to fail, what your fathers did and they fail, and you are here now and you do the same thing, you will still fail. Because doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the beginning or is the proper definition of insanity. So if you are going to break free from that generational ignorance, there is the need for you to give yourself to seeking knowledge and seeking information. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. They are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, if you look at that word knowledge, it is spelled Knowledge. I always say that what you know, Know, will lead you to having an edge. So when you have knowledge, when you know something, it will lead you to having an edge over everybody and over any situation or over any circumstance. So if you know what your fathers didn't know, you will have an edge over them. And by so doing, you have broken the generational curse. All right. Now, I should throw more light on number 4, please. When your root is on the surface, everyone can access you. I said that when your root is on the surface, it makes it possible for everyone to access you, and that shouldn't be. You shouldn't be a surface kind of person. You shouldn't be an individual that everybody can predict. If you are a leader, or if you're going to be a leader, people should not be able to predict you easily. But if you are a surface kind of person, somebody can look at you and say, if I say this thing now, he's going to respond this way. And when the person actually says that thing, you respond that way. It's because they can predict you. It's because you are a surface person. For you as a leader, you must have depth. You must have depth. Yeah, you must have depth. If the root or the tree does not have depth, the tree will fall. When the wind blows, the tree will be taken off the ground. So if you don't have depth, you are a surface kind of person. Everybody and anybody can access you. They know everything about you and all of that. You go everywhere, you do everything, you say anything. Then you will not be a good leader. If at all, you are going to be a leader. All right. On the issue of poor leadership qualities, can one also inherit that trait? I don't think you can inherit the traits of poor leadership quality. Remember, I said at the beginning that leaders are not born. I stand to be corrected. We have different school of thought, all right? But leaders, for me, are made. And in the process of the making of a leader, a lot of things come in. And one of the things that you have the opportunity of working on in the process of your making as a leader is to define and decide the qualities, the leadership qualities that you want to grow with. If you go to the midst of armed robbers, they have a leader. All right. If you go to a church, they have a leader. If you go to a mosque, they have a leader. If you go to the student union group, they have a leader. Now, the qualities that each of these leaders possesses differs. The quality that a leader in the church or in the mosque will possess will be different from the quality that the leader of the armed robbery gang will possess. All right. The leader of the armed robbery gang will be fierce, be dreadful, be wicked, and the rest of that. But that of the church will be calm, be peaceful, loving, accommodating, caring, and the rest of that. All right. So you as a person that is in the process of being made a leader, you can actually define the qualities you want to go with. So I can't say that you inherit those traits or those qualities. No. You look at yourself, you assess yourself every now and again and say, no, this quality, I don't think I want it to be a part of me as a leader. Some other leaders have it, but that is not supposed to be a part of me. And you can take it off. And the one that is not there, that you desire, you can develop it. All right? You can seek it, you can develop it, and then you have it. All right. One more question and we'll be done for today. Thank you so very much for those who are still with us. It's been an awesome time. I think I'm enjoying myself. I don't know about you, but if you are enjoying yourself, can you just type, yes, I'm enjoying myself also. I'm enjoying myself also. So I will know that I'm not the only one enjoying myself in the studio right now. All right. Thank you so very much. I'm also enjoying myself. Okay, so one more question and we'll be done for today. All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Wizantech. Thank you, Bichiku. Thank you, Heal the World. Thank you, Francis Iziba. Thank you so much for having you. Thank you so much. All right, so Obi, I guess this is it. It's been an awesome time. It's been a good time to share and to learn also from everyone. I think the discussion will continue on the WhatsApp platform. Thank you so very much.